and we're going to talk about the new updates when it comes to Facebook rolling out yet another page design. So a lot of us have experienced the redesign, the user experience, the full redesign of our desktop newsfeed, so from top to bottom. So we have the old Facebook experience, classic. We have the new Facebook experience that this year rolled out. Pretty much I think everyone has the new experience right now. And that's for your personal newsfeed when it comes to Facebook and navigating on desktop. And let me tell you, it was not well received. Most of us had some pretty jarring adjustments of trying to navigate where everything had moved to. Well, Facebook is at it again, this time with our pages. So Facebook is going to be rolling out a new update to the way that your pages look. Facebook has quite a few little things that are changing, but the big news behind this, and what we're probably going to spend a little more time talking about today, is Facebook is going to be removing page likes and instead focusing on page followers. So I know right away you're going to be asking me, well, what's the difference between a page like and a page follower? Well, you can technically like a page and unfollow it so that that content doesn't show up in your newsfeed. You can also not even like a page, but just follow it and then have that content show in your newsfeed. So Facebook is just doing a little bit of tidying, a little bit of housekeeping, and it's going to be eliminating page likes with this new Facebook page design. And when we're talking Facebook pages, we're talking about your Facebook business page. So we're not talking about your personal profile. That's already had the big facelift that we've seen this past year, and now we're going to be getting yet another change rolling through. So to cover off just high-level points here, what is going to be changing? Well, Facebook likes to give us the razzle-dazzle up front of like, hey, new shiny object, go look at it over here. So we'll start there, and then we'll move into, okay, so what this means to you is, so Facebook is going to be rolling out a redesigned layout of the business pages, and that's going to include a new dedicated newsfeed for pages, which is going to be a great way to allow you as an advertiser, as a brand, or as a public figure to start interacting with other people's content and interacting more easily on Facebook as the brand. They're also rolling out easier navigations between your page versus your profile. So with all these updates, I don't know about you, but it's not always been the easiest to navigate around between page versus profile on desktop or via the mobile app or via all of the different ways that Facebook gives us notifications, and then we click on it and then it will flip into an ad center trying to get you to promote an ad, or flip onto the old Pages app, which is now the Business Suite app. So there's lots of different places that we've been sent, so hopefully this will help clean it up and make it easier to navigate between page versus profile. And just to give you the difference of a personal profile, all of us have a personal profile on Facebook. That's you. That's your own name. And that's usually where you have family and friends. The difference is when someone wants to become a friend with you, they send you a request and you have to approve the request so you can become friends. And then they can see your content, your friends' private content, not just your public content. Whereas a business page, it's more like a billboard on a highway where it's public. Everybody can see it. Anybody can like your page, follow your page. It's the public facing business front. So that's what a page is versus your personal profile. You can have multiple pages, but they all have to be run by individuals who own personal profiles. So that's the difference there. New task-based admin controls are coming to pages. So I think they're trying to help pages with multiple admins manage it a little bit easier. Hopefully that will clean things up. They're also giving us actionable insights and more relevant notifications. Personally, as somebody who manages multiple Facebook ad pages or Facebook pages, a cleanup on the notifications and giving me more relevant notifications would just be peachy. I would just love that. It would make me so happy. And I also want to give a quick shout out to, we've got Evie in the house. It's Amanda. It's time to nerd. Yeah, we're going to get geeky on this one. You know me pretty well. If you are watching this live, drop a comment in and say hi. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from right now. And then two other things, safety and integrity features are being rolled out, which we all love anytime they update anything to do with safety or privacy, and especially integrity. And I'm curious if this is coming on the heels of Apple's iOS app transparency updates. we'll see. We'll talk more about that. And last but not least, a new Q&A feature for engagement within your groups. So I've done a little test of that so I can show you some screenshots. All right, so the format, how this is going to work. I'm just going to walk through each of these points. I'm going to bring some screenshots up on screen. And if you have questions along the way, just drop those questions into the comments and I'll pull your comments up on screen and answer them as best I can. Hopefully I can give you just a beautiful little overview. And we've got Michael here watching live. Michael is a member of Swift Kick in the Ads. He's brilliant when it comes to asking all the right questions, and I'm so glad that he's actually here because I know we'll probably get some good questions out of Michael today. All right, so let's get right down to it. Let's pull this bad boy up here. So I'm going to be pulling up some information here. We're just going to review it and then kind of discuss a little bit, and I'll move through each of those things that we just talked about, which are going to be changes rolling out. So first and foremost, Facebook is going to be focusing on followers, page followers, not page likes. We've been saying for years, when I say we, I mean like all of us Facebook internet marketers, we've been saying for years, likes are a vanity metric. Likes don't matter. Likes don't mean that people are actually following your page, seeing your content in their newsfeed. It really doesn't matter. And then from an ads perspective, I really don't care about likes whatsoever because I don't use them in ads. I don't use friends of people who like your page in ads. There's better ways to be targeting more hyper-focused audiences that will produce better results for you, in my opinion, and from my experience. So when it comes to page likes, you can have, like for me, for example, I have under 2,000 likes on my page, and I can still reach hundreds of thousands of relevant, focused, targeted people in any given month when it comes to running Facebook ads and providing relevant content, providing useful content. So there is no barrier. The number of likes I have really doesn't mean anything. And then when I do regular posts, my content is reaching beyond just the people who quote unquote like my page. So it doesn't necessarily, we've just been locked into this vanity metric of likes. We've already seen where Facebook has removed hearts, removed the likes off of Instagram, and now you just see liked by so-and-so and other people. So we don't see, as individuals browsing the feed, we don't see the like counts on posts on Instagram. So now we are still going to see follower counts on Facebook. So let's dig into this. Facebook says we are removing likes and focusing on followers to simplify the way people connect with their favorite pages. Unlike likes, say that 10 times fast, followers of a page represent the people who can receive updates from your page, which helps give public figures a stronger indication of their fan base. So follower metrics, yes, follower metrics are probably a little more representative of how engaged people are if they're actually following your page versus just page likes, where if somebody smacks page like on there, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually seeing your content or that they're following you or that they're that interested. So I've got some more information on likes versus follows and what that's actually going to mean. I'm going to run through all of the other updates first, then we'll circle back to that. So if you have questions on page likes versus follows, make sure you drop those into the comments. All right, so let's talk about the dedicated news feed and ways to engage. Facebook is saying, we're bringing the power of the newsfeed to pages for the first time. Now pages can discover and join conversations, follow trends, interact with peers, and engage with fans. The dedicated newsfeed will also suggest new connections, other public figures, pages, groups, and trending content that a page or public figure cares about. So what this says to me is that Facebook is enabling you as a public figure or a brand to have a more developed presence and to actually act the same way on Facebook as an individual user would act. With all of the changes and shifts that Facebook and all the iterations that we've seen come through with pages and profiles and how that content interacts with each other, they really have been sort of in these two different camps. You really interact as yourself across all of Facebook. When someone comments on your own page's content, you can respond as the page, but it's been very difficult to actually interact with anything else as your page until now. So I think this might spark better conversations, like Facebook is saying here, to make page conversations more visible to a wider audience and surface more frequently to their followers' news feeds. Comments from public figures will be bumped to the top of the comment section. People will also be able to follow pages directly from the comments and recommendations posts. So that's great. That tells me Facebook is helping to favor getting more exposure for your page. So if you're interacting as your page, commenting, engaging with other brands as your page with your dedicated newsfeed, then you have a higher likelihood of getting added exposure. So not just you as an individual, but as your page. I think that's fabulous. Let's move on here. Admin tools. Facebook is going to be improving some admin tools. Yay! It's been a painful process so far. Right now, if you're an admin, there's different levels of access that you have as an admin, and they've moved all of our menus to a fabulous experience if you are an admin on a page, let alone an admin on several pages. So Facebook is telling us we have added new page management features, like the ability to more clearly assign and manage admin access permissions based on specific tasks. Everything I'm getting out of all of this, by the way, is very task-focused. Facebook is really trying to help us manage everything based on tasks, based on the tasks that we do on a regular basis. It says, for example, you'll now be able to grant varying levels of access to manage specific tasks, including insights, ads content, and community activity and messages. This will also ensure account safety and integrity. I love that. Yes! Oh, can I tell you how important account security is? And I see all too often when I'm navigating around with clients or on consult calls or helping people with their Facebook ad accounts, I see it so often where I jump into the back end of somebody's Facebook ad account to take a look, and they just have admin permissions turned on for every single person they've ever had in there. And I get it. It's easier just to bring somebody in as an admin so you don't have to add them again or change their permissions again, so they just have access to what they need, and it's less of a headache for you as a business owner. But it also opens you up to a lot of risk. I've seen also many times where there are former employees or former business partners who still have admin rights to pages that they probably shouldn't have. There's also different ways to manage those permissions. We have seen these similar varying levels of permissions when it comes to assigning people access via Business Manager. But the levels of access in Business Manager to the levels of access from your page directly haven't really aligned. So it's nice to see that Facebook is putting the work in to help us assign access to our pages depending on the degree of need that there is. So somebody might have need just to access your page insights only. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to give them the keys to the whole palace and let them be able to take your page. Technically, like for real, an admin is an admin as an admin. So whether you own your business and you make an employee an admin, they can kick you off your own page and take your page. And it's happened before, and Facebook basically says, like, we warned you, we told you, and they won't deal with any of those disputes. So safety and security really is paramount in this day and age. And speaking of safety, Facebook is rolling out new safety and integrity features. So, and Michael is asking, can you add the link to the info you are reading changes? Absolutely. This is Facebook's, actually I'll give you a quick screen share of where all of this is coming from, just so you know that it is. So this is Facebook's update here, and I'm just breaking it all down for you and giving you some more details on what this means to you as an advertiser. So hopping back up here, safety, back to safety. So Facebook is saying we want Facebook to be a safe place to connect with fans. So we've improved. Got a little disco ball thing going on here. That's fun. That means I need to close down some programs that I didn't do ahead of time, which would have been smart. Okay, don't save that. Close that. Yes, please. Okay. So it's saying we want Facebook to be a safe place to connect with fans, so we've improved our ability to detect activity that isn't allowed on our platform, including hate speech, violent, sexual, or spammy content, and impersonation. We're continuing to expand the visibility of a verified badge to make it easier to identify posts and comments from authentic pages and profiles. A verified page's comments on another page's public post may appear higher in the comment section and be visible in the newsfeed. That's wonderful. So in other words, Facebook is really brushing up their AI to be able to catch and filter out more of these negative comments and negative behaviors, which is going to be better for all of us. There isn't much more elaboration on exactly how they're doing this. They say they're doing it, but we'll see what that actually translates into. And then they're talking about the simplified and intuitive design. You know what that says to me? That tells me that, hey, things are about to change. You're probably not going to like it at first, but we're telling you we're going to make it simple. Simplified design. That's better, right? Yeah, maybe not so much. We'll have to see when it rolls out. It says, now it's easier to navigate between a personal profile and public page. We've redesigned the look and feel to be cleaner and more streamlined than before, including making it simple for people to see bios, posts, and other important info. I want to know what that important info is. But yeah, a simplified and intuitive page design. I have to admit, it's not super intuitive as it sits. Let me just pull up my own page for a second, and I'll show you what the existing page, everything looks like. Oh, and then the other thing I didn't get to is the Q&A. So let me touch on that. Pull up my page in the background here. There's the page, and then in the meantime, I will show you that other last little snippet of news. Q&A. They are also rolling out a new Q&A format. Yay! To support richer interactive conversations, we are also introducing a new text-based Q&A format. So I literally just dropped this into one of my groups here, and Michael was commenting here saying that Q&A was very cool. Can they be scheduled? I don't know. I didn't try that. It acts just like any other post. So what you do is when you go to create the post in your group, you just hit the little dot at the top there when you go to create your post, and there's the option to create a Q&A. Similar to how you've been able to ask for recommendations, same format, only you'll start to see this little Q&A, and then you can add some colors behind it, and it's really designed to get people to ask you questions. Then you'll be able to answer, and it's a more streamlined format. And you can also end the Q&A, so you can cut it off basically and say, okay, this one's done, this one's over. So much like how we see stickers and stories getting more engagement, I see this as another engagement tool. So this is neat, and this is the one little update. Like, this is like the little bell and whistle. Like, all the rest are like, hey, we're making a big change to the format, we're making a big change to the layout, big changes to likes versus followers, and it's like, oh, but by the way, here's a new bell and whistle for you to play with. Like, and you know me, I'm like, I'll play with it. Cool. Let's get it going. All right. So let's head on over just to I'm going to pop me on over to, where am I going? We're going to go over to my page here for a second. Let's go up at the top right. Screen share. And let me expand this out just a wee bit. There we go. All right. So you notice on the left-hand side here, this is what our menu screens and page experience looks like right now. It's not terrible. It's not wonderful. I'm kind of lukewarm over it, to be honest. Most of us have had this new format of page layout for, I want to say, 3 months? When did I get this new layout? I think it was during when I was doing one of my boot camps and it rolled out. But anyway, the cool thing is with Facebook, all the functions are primarily all the same. Sometimes you just have to go hunting through different menus. This, what I'm showing you, is it's the new design of the old classic. So this is what we're considering classic. This is not the new layout. I don't have the new layout yet. I have not opted in for that. And then let me go back up here. Let's go right back up here. All right, cool. So that's what the new layout looks like. Now let's talk about some little ins and outs of what you need to know about the page followers versus page likes. So cruising on down here. So once you change into the new Facebook page experience, it basically is like, it's almost like starting a new page. It's not going to reset your follower counts, but any content that you produce on this new page going forward, if you all of a sudden decide that, ooh, I'm going to switch back to the old page style for as long as Facebook allows us to kind of go back and forth, similar to how they let us go back and forth when they rolled out our new user experience over this past year in all of our feeds, they let us toggle back and forth for a while. So if you try to toggle back and forth in here, imagine your classic page, like I just showed you. Imagine that as being one page, and then when you switch to the new one, everything is identical, but all the new content you create going forward is created in that new page format. And then if you try to revert back to the classic, you're going to lose all that new, fresh content that you put on there, and you're going to lose, you may lose some things. Let's talk about this here. So first up, what is the difference between followers and likes for classic pages? Like how it's, this makes me feel old. I like how we're referencing all these new looks as classic already. The number of followers indicates a number of people who may see your page's updates and posts in the newsfeed. When people liked your classic page, they also automatically followed you, which allowed them to see your posts in the newsfeed. People who liked a page could also choose to unfollow the page and not see its post in their newsfeed. They still demonstrated their support. So really, all a page like was doing was when you like a page, you were automatically following it, but you can unfollow a page and still like it to, stand behind it and say, I like this, I just don't want to see it cluttering my newsfeed. So Facebook is saying for a stronger indicator of the number of people who like to see your page's post in their feed, using followers is a better signal. So when we go on to, if I share my screen again, let's go top right. Let's see, where do I have, there we go. If I scroll on down here, right here, you can see I have 1,700 people who like my page, and I have 2,000 people who follow the page. So I have more page followers than page likes. So when this change rolls in, I'm actually not too worried, because ultimately my followers are replacing those likes, and there's more people who follow the page versus people who like the page. Some of you may have numbers that are inverse, so you might have a lot more people that like the page than people who follow it. So, and that's usually going to be a sign of that page having been around for quite a long time. And I'll pull this back up here. That's usually going to be a sign of a page that's been around for a long time, before Facebook started running followers and likes in tandem with each other. And a lot of those likes from way back when, those people, it just might not be relevant anymore. They, with the amount of data and information and flooding of things that we see in our news feed, those same people that 5 years ago liked your page have also gone on to like several hundred other pages. So there isn't enough room in the news feed to stuff in all of the things, all of the content from pages that we've put our hand up to say, I like this. But now you're going to be able to have better signals based on people who follow you. So step 2 of this, what happens to page likes when I transition to the new pages experience? Well, it's if someone likes and follows your page, they're getting carried over. If somebody only liked your page but they unfollowed it, they're not being carried over. You will lose that person. So Facebook, in Facebook's words, they're saying if someone likes and follows your classic page, I still can't get over calling it a classic page, I'm sorry. They're saying if someone likes and follows your classic page, they will continue to be a follower for the new page and added to your follower count. Ta-da! If someone likes your classic page but does not follow it, they will not be transferred over as a follower. If someone follows your classic page but does not choose to like it, they will still transfer to the new one as a follower. And it says page likes will not be supported on your new page. Page like count will no longer be accessible. So right now, where we have the page, for example, where I can see right down here, I can see the number of people who like and the number of people who follow. The page likes number, the metric, is going to be disappearing. And you know what? I'm okay with that. All right, and moving on. What happens if I switch my new page back to the classic page? And pay attention to the language they're using. They're even calling it your new page. They're carrying everything over from your existing page to make this new page. Think of it like a new bubble. You're getting a new bubble, but it's carrying forward. It's like moving to a new house. You get to move all your furniture, you get to move all your stuff, and you have movers and stuff, and they're just going to do it all for you, which is lovely. So your old stuff, your classic, just gets moved to the new page. But if you decide, I don't like the view from this place, it's not working for me, and you want to move back to your old place, Well, guess what? You're going to lose out on some features. So it says if you switch back to a classic page from a new page, your followers will remain the same. If you switch back to a classic page from a new page, you will still have all the likes from your classic page unless they unfollowed your new page. Anyone that followed your new page will be added to follows for your classic page. I feel like I'm getting tongue-tied even saying all of this. All right, so you moved yourself into the new page, great, and it erases all of the likes who didn't follow your page. But any new followers that you have from there, and if you will still be carried backwards if you decide abort and move back to the old classic. Those new followers will come with you. Anyone who followed your new page will be added to the follows for your classic page. So your follower counts will continue to grow. It's just that your page likes will be going away. And really, quite honestly, that's not such a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Okay, and back up here. So actually I'm going to show you I'm going to go back to the article itself and walk you through everything that I did is available. Everything I read through here is completely available in Facebook's article. Let me just give you a little screen share here, and I'll drop the link into the comments after the fact here. Let's go top right. That's what I want. All right, so this is Facebook's update about.facebook.com/news/2021, and then this trailing here. So introducing the new Pages experience. This was released on January 6th is when this version of the news dropped out. And you can see they summarize everything that's new. We broke down each of these pieces here and went through them one by one. If you really want to know more about the Pages experience, you can go over here to this article in the Help Center. So if I click on there, it's just going to launch this article right here. So you can work your way all the way through everything that you need to know as far as about the new Pages experience, about the likes and follows for new page experience. That's what we just walked through. And access for the new page. So giving admin access, the new admin tools, switching into your new page. Actually, let's click on switch into your new page. Before you begin, switching to your new page mobile. Awesome. From your home page, open your profile picture in the top right, select switch profile, select the new page you want to open. I want to see if I have this yet. Probably don't, but we gonna check it out. And open your home page, click on your profile picture in the top right, select switch profile, select the new page you want to open. Interesting. So I will dig a little bit deeper on my end for that. And then bring me back up here. Voila. Okay. So that's giving you the overview of the new Pages experience. Really working on the CPU here with my computer. If you do have any questions about this as it rolls out, I'm not going super in depth on this. I'm just giving you the high level of what changes are rolling out. Basically, Facebook is giving your pages a nice facelift, and hopefully it will make it an easier, more seamless experience, especially if you're managing multiple pages and you have all sorts of notifications. Our notifications should be getting cleaned up and getting easier. Assigning access to your page with varying levels and degrees of page roles should get easier. New admin tools should make it better. Can't wait to see how the updated security features and safety features work with Facebook's AI, better detecting hate speech and spam and the negative things that kind of roll around on our business pages. So ultimately, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm not going to go too much deeper on that. Other recommendations, if you're not using two-factor authentication on Facebook, I highly recommend it. I know it's a pain. It is a pain to have to carry a secondary device just to log into your Facebook. And me personally, every time I restart my computer or shut down Chrome, it basically resets the entire browser. So I have to use my 2FA, two-factor authentication, and log in again. it's worth it. Trust me, every step that you can possibly take to make your Facebook profile more secure, the better. And same goes with your business managers and accounts, making sure you do everything possible to keep it as secure as possible. Facebook's doing their work on trying to make a more secure environment for us. We need to take better care of our passwords and better care of our access control. And I think that these steps with giving us better admin controls and varying degrees of access to be able to assign to people is probably going to help contribute to making Facebook a safer space, certainly safer from people hijacking your account, which has happened. And then other than that, I have lots of information that I just dropped on my page regarding the iOS changes. So I'm not going to go, I've done a couple live streams on this, lots more information coming out, but I'm just going to show you, if I pull this up, there's more information about this all on my Facebook page. I just did a fantastic recording today with Paco, the genius, brilliant founder of Interest Explorer, and he knows the whole back end of the inner workings of what's going on when it comes to Facebook from the developer side of things. So he can speak incredibly intelligently on what changes like this mean for us and our Facebook ads. So to summarize what's happening here, sometime supposedly this month, Apple is going to be rolling out their app transparency. What's that called? I've got that written down. I can't remember everything. I've got too many terms and everything floating around in my head. Apple's app tracking transparency prompt. That's what that thing is. This is just a mock-up. This is not actually what it's going to look like. This is hypothetical. But once this rolls out and people will then be prompted when they're using an app on whether or not they want to allow that app to track them across other apps and websites. So, of course, naturally, most people are probably going to opt out. That means most people using Apple devices are going to opt out of tracking, which is really going to throw our Facebook ads tracking and Facebook ads conversions into a little bit of a haywire mess. And it's also going to reduce the sizes of our Facebook audiences. That's rolling out sometime imminently. We don't know when. Facebook is responding to it extremely publicly. They took out full-page newspaper ads. They have launched resources with voices of small business owners who are going to be hurt the most when this change takes place. And they are speaking up incredibly vocally about how detrimental this is to the advertising platform and to small business owners. And it's going to impact large business as well. So I have a full interview. It's 45 minutes long with Paco sharing. He shares some incredible knowledge in there, and I highly recommend you checking that out if that's of interest to you. And outside of that, lots more Facebook ads changes. I'm here every single week. So if you do have questions in the meantime, anything Facebook ad related, head on over to my page, The Digital Gal, drop some questions in there. If you're not already a member of Swift Kick in the Ads, we have a brand new Facebook ads 4-week bootcamp training launching at the beginning of February. I think it's February 2nd this one launches. Become a member. The bootcamp is included with your membership, and we walk you through everything from in the 4 weeks. Week 1, how to create your ads using Ads Manager. So we're going to get you going beyond that boost button. Week 2, everything to do with audiences and targeting, how to create those audiences and get your ideal targeting dialed in. Week 3 is budget and strategy. And you betcha, everything that we talked about today is going to be incorporated into updating that module when it comes to budgets and strategy, how to budget for your Facebook ads, how much you need to be spending, and how you can actually match a realistic strategy to the budget that you have, not pushing you to get into a budget that you don't have. And then week 4 is reporting and optimizing. So learning how to read your reports, understand, hey, did my Facebook ads actually work? And if they didn't, what do I change? So how to read all of that information and understand that. That launches February 2nd. It's live training. So sign up for Swift Kick in the Ads and come and learn how to kick some ads with us. I am Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and I am looking forward to helping you learn ads and geek out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you same time, same place next week.